You just finished the SEALs training, so tell me, with the Jelly Belly presented by Kenda team, tell me about this day.
It was hard. They broke us up into groups, 3 groups total, run us through drills, probably some of the more difficult things I've ever done, but most of it was all about getting us to not focus on ourselves and concentrate on our team members and work together as a unit and communicate and build leadership and work hard and never give up. But we definitely made a lot of mistakes early on and paid the price. A lot of time in the cold water, in the sand, working really hard, but after we got done with it, it really kind of changed how we kind of looked at each other, and we got pretty close with each other pretty quick and learned some really valuable lessons really early.
So everybody knew this was coming. Is this what you expected? Was it harder?
Yeah, I think it was harder in some ways than I was expecting, and then in other ways, you kind of hear stories about how hard it was from the guys from before, and they're like, oh, it's going to be so hard. And I know last year it was raining, and this year, fortunately we got a good day, but they did a lot of stuff that the guys from last year weren't familiar with, so it was just it was a whole new experience. So yeah, it was hard. It was really hard.
So what was the hardest part? I
think from a physical standpoint, the hardest part, at least for me, and I think for probably some of the other guys, is that we had these poles filled with sand, and we were having to lift it up over our heads. And cyclists, we're not known for our body strength, so that was probably the most difficult thing. And then towards the end, they put us in the water, and we have to kind of really work together as a whole unit, and everyone was cold and really tired. It's after 2.5 hours of this, and that was probably the most difficult thing, and you have no concept of time. I mean, I thought we were doing it for an hour or 8 hours. It's one of the two. So.
All right, last one. Do you think it's going to help going into the season?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to help. I mean, got to know, at least the guys in my unit a lot better, and it was a big bonding experience. And when you have to deal with these bad situations, and you have to work through it, you definitely get a lot stronger and a lot closer. So I definitely think it's going to help.
Thanks, Ken.
Yeah.
All right, we're live.
Are we live? Are we doing this interview now?
We're doing this interview now. All right, so we're a few hours after the SEALs training, team bonding experience.
Yeah.
So what do you think now? Looking.
Well, I'm real tired. You can probably see it in my face. Everybody's pretty worked, but it was great. It was a good experience to do for a cycling team. No other cycling team I've been on has done a team bonding exercise like this.
So what makes it good for a cycling team?
Well, what makes it good for a cycling team is there's a lot of parallels between what the Navy SEALs go through and what a cycling team goes through. I mean, let's get one thing clear, though, is the Navy SEALs have their pain threshold, I think, is much higher. They're doing what we did I think we were maybe in there for 2.5 or 3 hours, and they do it for 48, 72 hours straight. And what the parallels that can be drawn are just the fact that they're able to get their minds into a place to endure the suffering, to get through it, to know that in time this will be over, and in time this suffering, I'm not going to be cold anymore, I'm not going to be wet, I'm not going to be hungry, I'm not going to be tired. And the same goes for a bike race when it's raining out and you're at super high altitude stage race and you're just completely cracked and tired, and all you want to do is go home and sleep and eat some food and then sleep some more. Just getting through it and knowing that your teammates who are there with you throughout the whole thing, they're feeling the same way. Nobody's fresh and happy and dandy. Everybody's suffering, and so with that kind of mentality, it helps get through it. So this kind of draws more of a real life perspective that we're not this elite super super strong crowd out there. I mean, we're just as vulnerable as anybody else, but we have just have to realize that we endure, and it'll be over before we know it if we can just kind of get the mindset for it.
Okay, so the guys have been talking about it. Everybody knew this was happening today. Now, was it what you expected?
It's not as cold as everybody made it sound, but of course last year was 50 degrees and raining, so.
Well, you were shivering out there.
I was definitely shivering. It was cold, so I can't even imagine if it was 50 degrees what that would be like. So I think it was, excuse me, what I expected. Difficult team building, getting to see the nature of my teammates and see who can handle stress really well, who is keeping their head about them when they're suffering, and I liked what I saw. Everybody was really good out there.
And how did you do?
Well, I can hardly walk right now. I haven't run in sand in years, let alone run at all. So I'm sore, but I think survive, get through the next day.
So you think it's going to make the team better after this when they're racing together?
Once everybody kind of recovers from it, yeah. Absolutely. The team will be better because now we kind of have this outside the cycling world experience that will help us bring it together. We can relate on a lot of different levels with it. So.
I think so. So how long do you think it's going to take you to recover?
Maybe a day. We'll be good.
It'll be good.
The running muscles are more sore, and when I'm on the bike, it won't be quite so bad.
You won't need your elbows to crawl either.
Yeah, won't need these chafed elbows to crawl and anything like that. So.
Perfect. Thank you.